So how good really is a $30 Bluetooth speaker? Well, that's the question I was asking myself a couple weeks ago when I picked this guy up on a whim off of Amazon. I actually featured it in my most recent Amazon Tech unboxing video. So if you want to see me unbox and test this guy for the first time, definitely check out that video on the end screen. Now that I've used it for a little bit, tested it out, noticed its features and flaws, I'm now thinking that it's time to review this guy. So here we go. Starting off with aesthetics and build quality, I honestly gotta say I have a very positive review to give to this speaker in this category. It's all metal build. It's solid, hefty feeling, even though it is so small. And the just general aesthetic is quite nice as well. I am a huge fan of matte black everything. This particular coating does pick up smudges and scratches a little easier than some others I've come across, but it usually wipes away quite easily. And it's not a problem for me. Then also along the bottom, there's a super, not sticky, but high friction rubber ring around the bottom. So if you have the speaker on a table, it is not going anywhere, which is good to know so you can protect your admittedly small investment. So let's talk about I/O. So this guy unfortunately uses micro USB to charge. Boo-hoo, I know, kind of sucks. But that's just one of the sacrifices you're gonna have to make with such a small speaker. Also, there is an aux input, which is actually what I use this guy for with my Chromecast back there when I have a little bit of desktop audio action going on. Then there also is a micro SD card slot, so you can actually put tracks on a micro SD card and listen via that method, but it's a little bit of a pain since there's no screen or any way to tell actually what song you're listening to. Another very important feature of a Bluetooth speaker like this one is controls. And despite its small size, this guy has got all of them. And I have a very positive rating to give in this category as well. So on the front here, there is the volume up and down controls. And then you hold down the volume up and down to skip tracks forward and backwards. So if you want to actually turn up the volume, you have to keep clicking it separately because, as I mentioned, holding it down will skip tracks. The middle button is a media button, play pause. And then around the back, there is the power switch, which makes such a nice sound. And then there's a little ding when it comes on. There's also a mode button right here. That changes the mode. So if you say have something you plugged into the aux input, you can switch between aux and Bluetooth. Other than that, there's just a couple of indicator lights. There's a blue pairing light on the front that illuminates or flashes depending on if a device is paired or not. Then there's also a white charging light next to the mode button. So overall, the controls very clicky, the switch very satisfying, and honestly, another great feature of this speaker. All right, let's address the elephant in the room. How does this guy sound? Sound quality is kind of the do or die feature of a Bluetooth speaker like this one. There is a single 5-watt driver right here on the top. It's similar to a Google Home Mini if you've ever come across one of those, because there's just a single speaker firing up, and then hopefully it goes 360 degrees around. There is also a passive subwoofer, but I gotta tell you, the bass in this thing slaps a lot harder than you would think for the size and the form factor. It's definitely not up there with like a big cabinet speaker or much more expensive option from the likes of Bose or JBL. But if you got this thing on max volume, which by the way is quite loud, and you put your hand up to the speaker like this, you can feel the sound and the bass thumping. So if you're into that sort of thing, definitely a plus side here. But I mean, let me stop describing it to you and take a listen to some samples. So the last kind of pillar feature to mention here is the battery life, and it's pretty great. It's rated for 15 hours, and in my testing, it's done very well. So if you're using this speaker throughout an entire day, you will not have to worry about charging at all. And it's quite a champ for its size in terms of battery life. So in conclusion then, this guy, I would say it's kind of a jack of all trades, but a master of none, except for maybe the controls. I really like those. It's cheap, so there are always some sacrifices that you're going to have to make. This guy's still using Bluetooth 4.0 instead of the new 5.0, which is a bit of a bummer. As I mentioned, micro USB instead of, what I would prefer, USB-C in this guy, and no water resistance rating of any kind. So don't bring this to the water park if that is what you were planning to do. Despite these few kind of notable omissions here, you can't really beat this for $30. Like, the reason I got this is I was looking for, kind of a cheap pair of desktop, USB or 3.5 millimeter speakers to put on my desk so I could use them with the Chromecast I have back there or my laptop or whatever. And then this guy just came up on Amazon and it was the same price or cheaper than the desktop speakers. So I was like, why not get a speaker with Bluetooth as well as an aux input so I can use it for all sorts of stuff? And I've used this thing everywhere. I've used it outside on the deck. I've used it inside the house. And pro tip for you, this guy is actually the perfect shape to fit in a cup holder. So if you're bringing it like on a bike or in a car, it'll fit perfectly in that sort of space. It's very versatile and super pocketable. So you can literally bring it anywhere. And I gotta say, for $30, it really cannot be beat. So that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed my review of this Bluetooth speaker. There will be a link, non-affiliate, to buy it in the description if you're interested. As I mentioned, the unboxing episode with this guy will be linked on the end screen. And fun fact for you, this entire review was completely unscripted. I just have a little pad of notes over here that I was going off, so let me know if you noticed, if you liked it, or anything like that. Anyway, that's it. Make sure to subscribe for more tech videos and tutorials like this. And also follow me on Twitter at KyleGNew.